Well, earlier I spoke to Simon Freakley, who's the CEO of Alex Partners, and I asked him about the impact the war in Ukraine is having on global trade.
This is just the next major disruption. I mean, the first thing to say, of course, this is a humanitarian tragedy, but a profound disruption fast on the heels of COVID-19, which, of course, we thought was the major disruption in our lifetime. So companies are having to adapt. Clearly, there's now real supply chain problems compounding the ones that we've been living with for the last 2 years. So people are developing regional and local supply chain solutions, not just global solutions, which are now not so possible. So it's just in case now, as well as just in time.
For decades, global growth has been pretty strong. Now, of course, we've got inflation, we've got high interest rates, we've got geopolitical tension not seen for many decades. How has that business backdrop altered?
Well, I think that it's more complicated. I think it's too soon to declare the end of globalization. I think there's a multi-year period ahead of us of profound uncertainty, geopolitical uncertainty in Europe and the affiliations that come on the back of that. But what we're seeing today is that businesses are dealing with extraordinary hikes in commodity prices and energy prices. That, of course, is being passed on to the customer. That's putting real recessionary pressures on Western economies. And so I think we're in for quite a turbulent time over the next few years. Difficult to tell at the moment whether that will formally take us into a recessionary period, but that's very possible. Business leaders are having to be agile. They're having to make sure that they have plans in place to pivot their businesses as they have to seek different sources of supply for critical products. Labour shortages, of course, are still very much a feature of many industries, and so quite a challenging time for businesses as well as for governments.
You've been advising businesses of all shapes and sizes for many, many years. So what are they telling you? Are they saying, look, we're having to bring our production closer to consumers because of the supply chain squeeze? You say they need to be agile. Is nimble going to be the buzzword of 2022 and beyond?
Well, at Alex Partners, of course, we're advising clients all the time how to, first of all, protect themselves against the threat of these disruptions, but also to capitalise on some of the opportunities. We've talked about the Ukraine-Russia conflict. That's a profound disruption and a human tragedy. But, of course, there are many other disruptions playing out simultaneously. We're not out of COVID-19 yet. New technologies are fundamentally upending many industries. We're seeing the effect of climate change, etc., etc. So it's the way in which these disruptive forces are compounding against each other, turning a rolling sea into a choppy sea, that's making it tough for people to do long-term planning. So we say to our clients, make sure that as much of your cost base as possible is variable, so you can change quickly on the back of circumstances. Make sure you're never a hostage to single sources of supply, hence the need to have local, regional, as well as global supply chains, and to make sure that strategies are implemented deliberately and quickly. So do it nearly right, but do it now. So pace over perfection is what the best leaders are doing.
Pace over perfection, that's certainly one to take through Davos and beyond. Simon Freakley, always an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you.